My recent retrospective, what it happened in Chennai, it was not a very well planned. I mean, it's very accidental, but one way it is planned also because this actual retrospective was supposed to happen in Delhi, in Bombay National Gallery. For a National Gallery, I signed all the papers and other things. I mean, but somewhat some of my best works were lying in. South Korea, it didn't come a bit because of the COVID and other things. So I didn't bring it. Then I lost my mind also. But by the time, all my old works, I started restoring myself. I know a little bit restoration. So I started restoring some of my old prints and old drawings, those kind of things. And since I was part of the Dakshina Chitra as a board member and trustee for many years, after me, a lot of, on my proposal, a lot of retrospectives happen for the many senior artists. And also we introduced a lot of contemporary activities also in Dakshina Chitra. So they asked me in the board meeting, Palaniappan, you don't like our place to exhibit your works. Then immediately I thought, first year, I said, no, not now immediately. And second year also they asked me, that means after the COVID. I said, it's okay. So only 6 months were there. They said, this December you should have it actually. By that time I committed with this show also. This is the show what is happening here. And I was working for all these works for the last 2 years I was working. So I stopped working, then I started working for that's why I projected this one. Then I started working for my retrospective. I again restoring some of the work, and I ordered some frames for the wooden frames for the for my exhibition. It came from Kuala Lumpur. Frames and mounts it came from German museum mounting, because I'm very particular about, because I visited so many countries, visited so many museums with very close interaction with the museum people. So, and also I worked in the Lalit Kala for many years, almost 39 years. So I wanted to, when I wanted to present it, I wanted to present it in a proper manner. So that same, I started working in that same manner. But unfortunately, the things were getting delayed. By the time this film also is happening, I don't know when this man was there, the works were in a framing work was going on. I don't know whether the work will come to the exhibition or not. And also I was a one guy, I was about my character, I'm telling I always puts my mind in everything because Rajan knows it because he worked with me. And I put everything, every single portion of the work in total, I do put it on. So in the catalog preparation, I was there actually. I was designing the catalog, and in between, talking to the people, and all those things are happening simultaneously. So very next day is going to be an exhibition. Up to last minute, the day before, catalog, I was not able to complete the catalog. I thought at least I will make one catalog because, Gopal Krishna Gandhi, that Gandhiji's grandson was a governor of the West Bengal also. He is coming to the inaugurating the program. I thought at least one book should be there for my release. I was working at least one book, digital book, I can make it. Up to 2 o'clock in the day, morning time, I was working. Noon, it's gone. The 2 o'clock, nothing works. I was not able to complete the things. I was so much tired. But there the people are waiting for my, work to get into the wall actually. They don't know how to display also, because Sadananda Menon has clearly told Palaniappan, it is your work, you have to display. And you are the best curator than me because you have done a lot of curation. You have to do it yourself actually. So the people are waiting for my display. So in that situation, 2 o'clock I had taken a decision, okay, both the sides should not be delayed. So I decided, okay, I don't want to bring that book. So immediately going to my place to Dakshina Chitra 2 hours away. So within that 2 hours, everything I communicated over telephones. You put this painting. See, because that place is very familiar to me. This place, before I am going itself, certain works, it's gone there again, certain areas. And then I went there. That's why you are seeing it. Once I enter, all these things. Within 4 hours, this display. It will not happen in any country or any place actually. So everything I put in my mind, I worked on it actually. But very next day, that this is also very important. Very next day, inaugural speech, I thought, I'm going to speak only, thanks to the people. I mean, then the people told, no, Palaniappan, you have to talk about that your work. I do talk, but it is not. But that I'm not in a mood to talk because it was in a turmoil situation. I created this my exhibition. It was wonderful work, but wonderful situation also. But I don't know how to talk, what to talk, and that too in my exhibition. I mean, I started giving a word. Error is part of the every action. That is why it's overstated. I didn't call anybody or chief guest name or anything. Dear friends, error is part of the every action. Then I talk about that what happened to my catwalk and all those kind of things. Then I told, because I cannot give it a random word to say error. Error is happening. Error is part of the every action. Then because my work or earlier works or all belongs to the cosmic things and all, I started talking about even in cosmic things also. Our universe is expanding because there is an error in that actually. Otherwise, it will be a silent, nothing will happen. Because it's got expanded, because there is some error in that. Because that error is still reflecting whatever. Because I'm very positive man to bring the catalog in a time, but it didn't happen. Because that means it's a part. The error is part of it actually. That's what I feel it, I expressed it a bit. So in the catalog it didn't come. After that 10 days, 15 days it came. But end of the catalog, that last page of the catalog, that is my statement I put it. Because the catalog, it carries a lot of my philosophical things. The last things I put it in. So this exhibition also extension of that actually. That's what I start. Please put it. I'm showing my earlier works, I mean my college period works. Up to my fourth year, I will show you. I studied 6 years course in fine arts. This is my first year. Between first year and second year, I used to go a lot of sketching outside. I stayed 10 days in Mahabalipuram. I did, I stayed in a school, in a bench. Every day morning I used to go and do sketches and watercolor. Because I didn't study the shake of doing painting. No, this is I was imagining that old that no, it is what do you call the next one. There's an old lighthouse actually, old Mahabalipuram lighthouse. I mean, this is all the watercolor study. Watercolor studies are like a sketches. I do like a sketches. I do watercolor in the second year and all. Why I'm showing, because my foundation, you have to see it, my foundation, what it is. I mean, this is all the end note. This is all the spot works. All from all the outdoor studies or the indoor studies and the studio studies, the classroom studies. It's all portrait. I do portrait like, sketching, impasto works. It's a one stretch within 1.5 hours. I used to complete it actually. Model studies. Up to 79, I was very much keen on my work, to be gone. It's the last that was a 4-year work, a bit. I think this light can be switched off because, yeah. In 78, 79, my first classroom, class tour is started. We will go for a class tours with 12 days to 15 days or maybe 20 days, all over India. This is the southern part of the India when we are touring. I make the sketches like this actually because the composition we have to create something, it's a part of the syllabus. So I started doing like this because I was very much, before I'm coming to the college, um, I was so much interested in science and mathematics. It was part of my studies in my college school time. I mean, people do call me in the college days, school days, rider Palaniappan. I do create my own riders in mathematics. I do create. I was good in mathematics actually those days. I mean, my school times. So go slowly. That little before, little before. This was my first oil painting, created in 1978. dancing steps on my birthday. I came to study, architecture. I came to study Chennai for studying architecture at the beginning. But later I studied in the art school. Then, I put my mind. I studied all kind of, I, all kind of styles. I mean, the watercolor in the sense, even European masters to Chinese masters studies. I used to go. I used to follow many kind of techniques of watercolors and this is all 79 actually. 79, this period of, in Indian art, it was not like that. I mean, no, I don't know why, how it, inspired, what kind of things are, I got inspiration. I don't know, it comes on its own way. This all these 4 feet by 3 feet. I started doing composition like that. I started, flight is my favorite subject that time. It's a very, I fascinated with the flight and flight movements because of the Second World War film. I started working like this in my end of my college period. This is all 79. I studied ceramics also. I did in the ceramics. I made many works like this actually when I was there in the college. Lot of architectural patterns and some machinery patterns. Those days, ceramics, it was people are doing it very differently, not sculptural forms. I did that those kind of things. I started using different kind of material in those period. This all the kind of a topographical maps of the not map that structures of the aeroplane. I think there is a fog or fungus in the spots. The mirror. Yeah. This was that same period, I started doing a large oil paintings like this actually. Slow. Then here I started using a structure as part of it actually. How machine works actually. This all from the element of flight only. These works is a part of the collection of art heritage. This is the first time I started working. After finishing my college period, I went to my not native, my brother's place. I started working with him in a commercial firm, like a screen printing firm. So every day morning, I don't know, I didn't study commercial art. So, but anyway, but for him, I was helping. That time, there was a German calendar. It was there in the table. I mean, I started scraping that some of the areas. I started putting, old type machine. Some of the areas I typed. I mean, some of the thing ballpoint pen. I marked some of the areas, and it is all kind of a landscapes. I made it like this. I mean, first time I made it. From this, the next one is a close up of that actually. It was very small calendar. It was in 1980. Then 80, I was there in Madurai, nothing, no oil painting, nothing. So I started painting on enamel paint this particular period. I did some 2, 3 paintings, I will show you. Yeah, this is the previous one. This is enamel on canvas. Here, because when I was there, here I wanted to give a little story. Before I'm coming to the college, when I was the age of 13, I saw first World War film called as Fall of Berlin. It's a Second World War, Russian subtitled, English subtitled film. Russian film. It's a long film. Who is fighting with whom, I don't know. But even though I'm studying in the English medium school, but all these English films, I was reading some of the things, it didn't go to my mind. But I don't know, but the whole film was, the war, the war sequences and bullet, line goes in the night time and flight moves in the confined space of the cinematic space. I don't know what it is, but and only there I found that the movement of the flight was very fascinated to me. I mean, that how machine works, and the map also, it came to my mind. The people, the commander, or he used to say, go and bomb it here. All those kind of things. It reflects in my work later period. Actually, because of that, I started seeing World War films, many World War films, not one film, more than some 25 films. I mean, Second World War, First World War, and many different Vietnam War, all those kind of things. Everything. I was fascinated with the flight movement and flight, how it works and all. And this is a one sequence. Another one, when I was there in the school time, I was very much fascinated with the astronomy also. What is behind? There's only one question. It's a simple thing. What is okay? This is a star. This is the planet. Okay, what is behind it? What is a galaxy? Okay, little knowledge about the galaxy. Now is the internet is there. You can see many things. Those days nothing, but only through the books and other things. I was going through many things. What is behind? I used to, but in my house, it's my native place. I was talking about a young age of school age, 13, 14. I used to, in open courtyard, I can see the very big houses. I mean, very big house. It's like a palace by house and all. In the center of the courtyard, when I was seeing the chair, easy chair, it's a long easy chair. My grandfather used to be there. I was waiting. What time he will go? By 8 o'clock, he used to go out for sleep. So I used to go and sleep. Then I used to go and rest. When I was seeing a top, lot of stars, what is behind? I was imagining what is behind it. That was a thing. It came to my work, and also till that was the philosophy I'm using it actually. I'm going now. Present works are a little different. So it questioned me lot actually. It questioned me. Still, it is questioning me what is behind. What is behind that stars actually, galaxies and universe actually, and multiple universe. All those kind of things. It came to me because of those experience of seeing hours together. Hours, not 1 hour, 2 hours, up to 8 o'clock to 10 o'clock. I used to see only the space actually. That also reflects and flight movement. These all the combinations of my elements, it is there in my work actually. Here, when the warriors are fighting, warriors used to see that whole building, closed wall, mentally they can penetrate inside the wall actually. They can make the wall very transparent. What is they maybe maybe somebody may hide inside or something like that. They used to see it actually. I want to bring that experience in my work. That is why I make that architectural pattern, like a transparent way. I mean, and all these military band, that area codes, all those kind of things. It came from that. I mean, that elements. Then I came here to study lithography in Gadi. This was my first work. The man is taking print. It's a man. The man is taking a print. Here only I started working with a flight with a bird with the flight wings. From this I started developing the next one, the flying man. Here I attach the head and wings. These are lithographs. Then this is there in the collection of many museums, the American museums, previously. Yeah. This yeah. Next one. Yeah. Alkazi is Art Heritage. They have a collection of 64 drawings of these kind of things. It was in 1982. I made 81, 82. I made a lot of drawings like this actually. Then from that I developed my graphics, etchings, Flying Man series. Then I started many information. It came from the book. So I started using a book page series. I mean, center page, front page, blow ups. Those kind of things. I use the word for the and also the Xerox here. And simultaneously, when I was doing my etchings, for me, the plate is very important. The surface is very important. The experimentation on the surface, I do it actually. I do lots of. I mean, for me, the plate is very important than the print, the final print. I mean, so the surface. So I always, I used to give a concentration only on the process of making it actually. So when I was making it, I was working in Lalit Kala, so I used to go to the, typist for making typing and all, The Xerox copies and, the old, the printing methods of that, that Xerox marking, I liked it very much. That textures, I brought it in my work a bit. So all those kind of markings and punching holes. These works, I made it in the printing inks on golden sheets. It's yeah. I use a printing ink and enamel. Here it is again that center page. Here I started working the print, with a different kind of markings. The same print, each and every edition, the same edition I used to make different prints in a different way. And here readable materials, to I put it in a display in upside down. And I started using a seal also, Space Drawing Research Center. The Space Drawing Research Center, why I brought in the seal? Because the Le Corbusier, when they made a architectural firm in Paris, he made it. That information I read it actually. Carpenter Center. I mean, anybody can research. In his institute, they can do under that Carpenter Center. Actually, I wanted to make a kind of a center people can research using that center for my different kind of experiments. So later I was so possessive, not anybody should not use that. This earlier one. Yeah, earlier. Here also all these kind of a readable things I brought it, uh, as part of the work. I created it, and every prints I used to put a seal, rubber stamp, date seal, and all different way. I mean, here only I started working with mixed media prints. I'm not happy with it because in my work, time and space is a very, very important. So I brought the time because each and every time, it changes, and accordingly the print also should not be the same. Even that, high quality machines when it prints it. Now, present days it is okay. Digital prints or it comes because my all families or belongs in a printer's family. So when I was seeing offset the first print and last print, even the running print also it changes a lot, color differences of the. So why not? I mean, it is my print. So I started changing the print colors also. A lot of I use the viscosity method, so I changes the color at the beginning. Later I made it very similar prints actually. Yeah, this is all in 1984. 1984 I used a textured painting like this actually. Movement. Is there the collection of museums only? Slowly. At the beginning, my work, deals the space in a universal space. Cosmic space is becoming the part of my work as one of the main element in my work. I mean. And the movement, it represents that line. It represents with the line that the box kind of things, it is a specific space. And these color bands of red and blues and all, it goes with the memories. I wanted to bring some kind of sensibility to the memory also to bring in my work as part of it. I mean, so if I'm telling something, it is there as memory in your mind. So how to express it? It's just kind of a small color bands. It is a moving bands. Is the This is a part of the collection of art heritage only. It's an earlier collection, 1985. 83 to 85, I made lot of works like this with the musical notes as a movement. With a pencil, mainly the pencil drawing. It's a large drawing. Very, very, very sensitive lines. Many sensitive lines I used it there. I mean. This is also exhibited in my first exhibition, Art Heritage. I want the people to see the prints in the hands. So it's like a book form. I made it, and a lot of pens, the films and all I added. A lot of collage materials I added in the prints. This was the experiment that period. I This is in the this is a part of the Navagraha series. In the Hindu temples, the Navagraha is in the same pedestal. Nine planets together in one pedestal. People go around to feel like they are offering something to the god of nine planets. So I wanted to bring that experience in my work. So I put it like this. It is there in the British Museum. This particular work. Then I started working the one same print in a different color, and I cut the print and switch it in a different way. I expanded the print with a different collage materials. I want that white space of the print also to be the part of the work. But everything I made it myself. It is not picked up from the different collage materials. I made it. The top calendar kind of things also. I made it. I cut. I printed separately for me. Even the film, what I made, it is also my own something, my film. Previous one, See, this is a print I got a national award. The lower portion of it, next one. This is the detail of that actually. Yeah. The next one, this one, slowly. What is that? It's all kind of, markings, Stir it, huh? Hmm. Here, this composition, it came from my machine. When I was rolling that printing machine, it goes in a one direction, roller in another direction. So I want to bring a two different movement. One is this movement, another is this movement. I do experiments with many things like this actually. This is organic space. See, you go back, you go back, go back, go back, go back, go back. Here and all, what happened, one is the memory of our, physical memory. And another one is, see, when you wanted to express unknown thing, it is not a colorful. That is why I made the topper area of the, print with the black and white and lower area with some color information actually. That is what I started. Then in between, that, universal space, and there is a space, we are not able to witness it actually. A lot of organic, movements are happening. It's a very colorful movement. When you are going microscopically, you can see it actually. I want to celebrate that also. That is why I made a one work. Come, go, friend. Here. I wanted to bring that, I want to celebrate that movement also. There is a movement in that, And why this is, that later I was thinking about all our information is a fake information. It is not, we are not experiencing it actually. Everything it came from the television or, it is in between some medium is there actually. We are not really, experience it, So how to express it? So I want that, the television band as part of my work actually. That's why it came. Then it is like that. It's all having some kind of connection, that's what. And this kind of mark, it is there. I started using in 1982. All my prints, drawing, you can find it. Not even a single drawing I kept repeated it. Within the circle and square and rectangle, I made thousands and thousands of forms. Within that, only the simple line, the cross line and circle and, square. Here, in my first exhibition in Art Heritage in 1984, lot of argument was there. That time Kishan Chaitanya was there, art critic. He used to criticize my work. He came and he talked, your work looks like a little bit of my earlier works. Those were KCS Panikar. I said, no, nothing to, he is nothing to do with, I have nothing to do with his work. I didn't met him also. By the time he died actually. So I saw his work, but he's nothing to, how come you are to say, that kind of argument was there. Then Alkazi was there. Alkazi said, no, Palaniappan, you hold my hands. No, Palaniappan, don't argue with those kind of people. They will write bad about you in the papers and all. Don't do it. So I went, but that aggressiveness inside, I'm very angry. I have nothing to do because, my origin, my foundation is very different. It came from the different root and different things, Why they are telling about that, Then, I have decided that particular time, that particular moment, I decided I wanted to make a one art without anything, without any formal drawing or anything. So how the number, because that KCS Panikar used as a texture for, like a resemblance of the books or something like that. I wanted to make how number works in your mind, psychologically, how you are creating your numbers as a picture to your mind. So I created 40 concepts. Next exhibition I exhibited in Art Heritage, 40 concept. The 40 concept of, that too very simple concept of 1 to 0. 1 to 0. If you are writing 1 to 0, 1 to 0 continuously, it is like a circular space. 1 to 0, 0 to 1, it is like a spring space. If 3 is missing, like now 10 people are there, one person is missing, mind will immediately recall him, recollect and where is that? So the mind search, So I wanted to bring the 3 is missing, mind will, will place it actually. Okay, there is no space for a 3. Even for atomic explosion, there should be a certain space. If mind is powerful than the atomic explosion, and that's what I wanted to bring it out. There is a no space for three, mind will replace it. One, two, three, four. Everything it has its space. And three, there is a no space for three, and next one is a four. Mind will replace it. Even zero, even there is microscopically there is no space. Non space is also not there. Mind will replace it actually because our system is like the mind system is like that. So the mind, because of that, I started using this. The Palaniappan is here, and Palaniappan is an heritage, or maybe your place, or Chennai, or my family. It's a totally different Palaniappan. The same Palaniappan, how come that differs a bit? Same seven in the square, seven in the circle is a different. That's why this is there in the National Gallery collection, Delhi. These works. This was in 1985. See, my work is mostly with the conceptual. No, every work it requires a lot of uh, not explanation, but it comes in a different. This all these or a kind of a shuttle, space shuttle windows. The windows, I created a different window should be like, why not? I mean, can be like this actually. Here also, this particular series of work, I will tell you this, it's a very interesting. This particular series of work is, I had done it for 2 years actually. Why? People should not see my work. People should not see my work. I was working for 2 years. When you are going to the any Hindu temple, lot of ideals are keeping one to another. And every ideals when you are, I was experiencing it. I was going, when I was there in the Mylapore for 4 years in the nearby temple place. I used to go to music kacheris and music concerts and dance program. And in the evening, I used to go to temple. I used to sit in one corner. It's a very big temple, and I used to see watching the people how they are walking and moving and seeing it how they are praying, and I used to watch it very deeply. And when I was going inside the temple, the prahara, and the people, one of the 63 Nayanmas, all the 63 Nayanmas and the saint, Saivite saints, they dedicated their life to the God, to the Shiva in a very different way. They killed that child, for putting for the food for the God. Like that kind of dedication they have. So every story carries a different kind of what you call the philosophy, and the psychologies are very different, and periods are different. But once they put it in the same side, one side, all these 63 diamonds, people don't see it walk through. I wanted to bring that walkthrough experience in my work actually. So that I started making this planet series, and people do talk about the planets, many things, and including the moon. When you prehistorically, when you are talking about the moons, it has its own fairy tale stories. Only very few scientists or astronomers, they landed in some portion of it. They brought some sand. They were talking about it now. All other things mostly, assumption. So I wanted to bring that experience as a alien planet series. So that alien planet series, first one I did in 1985. After that, I don't have any meaning for that. So I left it. Then 88 and 89, I made that series only for this purpose. When I put separately, people do see it, because the printmakers, they know it very well, and they are very much interested in how that man has made the print and all. For me, when I'm processing it, it is a very important. The plate is important. After that, the concept, how that simultaneously the concept works in my mind. For creating that. See, all this works 2 years. How come? I started working somewhere, but processing, a lot of changes is happening. This is all my print period. Up to 1990, I didn't fly. actually. I didn't fly. I didn't see that, topographically, how our land looks like that. After the 90, more than some 1,000 times I was there, the flight, I was seeing it. Really, I'm talking the reality. Uh, before seeing that, before I'm flying and after flying, and my total concept is different. And I'm seeing that land, I'm seeing the space in a different way. So previously, what happened? I was imagining the space as a universal space. I never thought about it that personal space inside, personal space. I'm talking about the earth or me or my life. I was always imaginatively, I used to see it actually. This is a true. I'm talking about it. After started flying, I'm seeing it. Russian landscapes are different when I was seeing it from the top, and Greek landscapes are different. Indian landscapes are different. I started analytically. I was started thinking about it actually. Then that also reflected in my work actually. And just to go through it, the flight to Albuquerque, that once I landed, the first experiment I did was I wanted to connect. I started thinking about my, every day I used to call my family people. So how to connect that? So I thought of, I asked those people, I wanted to have the map of Albuquerque, and I wanted to have a map of India, especially my house should be there. So they said, it is very difficult to find out, but they said that it's not very difficult to find out, but how you are going to take it? Then, it's okay. I will work on it. I will work. I thought I can manipulate something with that. Then I called one of my professor. He was a very close friend. He's a uh, 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 I called him. He was my very close friend. And he said, no, Palaniappan, he was searching for me. And finally he said, Palaniappan, it is your next door is that, technological application center. They are the map makers for the whole America. Why don't you go there? Then I went there along with my professor, this Tamarind Institute professor. I went there and I asked, I need that, map of that. They said, no problem, we will give it. But how you are going to take this, your map, because I know your country's rules and regulation, any map will not be allowed. So I said, no, why don't you give it? So very next day, then I thought, if it's not, I'm not taking it out, how it will be. Because I wanted to connect the two portions will be their map of the university map and that area map of the Albuquerque, and another one with the Madras map, with my house to be shown. Then finally, I didn't use it. I used only the university map for that. The next one. Previous one. Yeah, this was the thing actually. And here, when I was seeing that maps, it's very beautiful, extraordinary fine finished map. You can see it's as like a photograph. And they gave, and I printed it on a tissue paper. It's a Japanese tissue. I put it in a sheet colle method. It's a long print. It's a double, it's a long print. And here I wanted to bring that kind of element. There is a kind of element of animal. See, here also I thought of, why not that when you are entering into any place, certain elements comes to your mind faster than the some elements. Maybe it's a familiar or maybe very disturbed elements a bit, disturbed object a bit. So that it is see here, there's the animal form, so many elements are there, but the animal form it comes. So I wanted to bring that as a first, projected in my work actually, how the mind reads actually. So I wanted to put it together as how the mind reads along with the musical notes. Yeah, next one. This is what, most of my works, because I worked in Lalit Kala and most of my time, gone for the administration and other things. So I do draw continuously. I used to make a sketch notebooks. This was a one period of sketch notebooks. Whatever the thoughts it comes, I do write also. This is all the part of my retrospective exhibition. This was my, From this, I started developing a brown drawing. Here, you just see that, the physical aspect of seeing the forms. The forms are becoming predominant actually here. And negative and positive areas are becoming very, equally important. Here, that lot of negative areas are also there. It's also aesthetically very beautiful. That is what I created actually. I don't know. I didn't create it, but it comes on its own way. Next one. See, when you are considering this is a positive, this is the negative area also very beautiful. All these negative area, this is a positive. And aesthetically, it plays a very important role to creating that space. This period also went for almost 8 years. 91 to 98, I was doing many works like this actually. Hundreds of drawings like that. All full imperial size. This work also I did in America. Here in my second trip to United States, I made that edition and printer has made it. I gave a demonstration in university, Cincinnati University. Then, Cincinnati Art School, Museum Art School. Then they printed it for me with the printer cell. It is exactly. They made a 70 prints. I curated. I made a 30 prints, and we have selected. We have separated, 10 prints for each. It's a museum project, I think. Yeah. Then it was there in the Oxford. Oxford, I made a lot of drawings and made some sketch notebook also. That was shown in that. This was once I went to Oxford, my forms are becoming very, predominant. The forms becoming, it occupies an important role. I did a lot of photographs and I mixed with the computer graphics. Projection was not very good, but it's okay. Some fog was there. But here, uh, because all my work, it came from all my works, it came from the Second World War film. Because the German Institute, Max Muller Bhavan, they are interested in, they are wanted to send it to me to Germany with appointment with many people. So they sent me for 20 to 24 days. I mean, I went to several museums with the museum directors' appointments, more than 18 museums. And I went very closely to the museums, I mean. And during that time, my interest was not only museums. I wanted to see that, the land, because once I landed, because I saw many war films of that, the area, to me, that whole area was so always familiar to me. I don't know why it is. Looks like, I'm walking on my own land like that. I don't have the separation between that land and me. I mean, that final land was that Berlin. Berlin was there. I mean, Berlin, the last meeting, I saw that, the Berlin Gate. I took a lot of photographs. Then I exhibited the photographs of the Reichstag building also. Then I have a photograph with the watercolor exhibition. Then once I came back. Yeah, once I came back, watercolor mapping, I used it actually. Then this was German map only. This I took from the flight. I used watercolor and drawings this period, 1999. Then the Reichstag building becoming the capital, for this, parliament for the United Germany actually, where that, the decision for, war is, happened. The same building, it is becoming the parliament that when I was there, it looks like a war situation because that a lot of construction work was going on. I took photographs. Then, I was 2-3 months, I was putting it the same thing. It was there in the mind because I was taking photograph along with other people, other tourists. But for me, it's a different. I mean, all these things, once I come in, how I moved, I mean, in the space in front of that physical space. So then I started moving a line. That is what that moving line it came. It is like a moving line. Along with that red line, this is I made a portfolio of 30 prints. I made a 40, and each and every print of all the 40 edition of that, I made a separate. Everything I drawn on top of it actually. Slow. Only one I'm showing it. This is what the detail of it. This is my photograph. This is a plan of the 250 years before that, how the Reichstag building was established. I mean, then 2 times it was, reconstructed because of the fire and other things. Then at the time of Second World War, it's completely gone. That during my visit, this was, the construction work was going on. I took, after the 10 days, it is becoming parliament to the United Germany. So it has the German war. It's not a German war. It is a war between the mind. The human mind. It is a, people are thinking about it is a war between one country to another country. Nothing. It is a war is happening every day in our life. That's why I wanted to bring it out. I mean, that is another part of my story. This okay. This is the war, the way of the warrior, the series. See this particular time, I was there with the Lalit Kala Academy. I was sincerely working, but they transferred me. I mean, I was very angry on the people. I filed the case against the government of India. All those things are happening. That time, I made a lot of drawings like the way of the warrior. That Zen Buddhism, they are telling, the war has to be, when you are a warrior, you have to make the warrior, other opponent, to fight in the air. They will become very tired of it, by fighting the air. You touch, they will, collapse, because that same technique I used it in Lalit Kala also. They tried maximum level best actually to, my friends, my own friends. So I used that, drawing in that period. It's called the Way of the Warrior. This period also when many, 4 years I was working with this series of work. Very just a brown drawing with the blood, kind of. Next one. This one a little smaller. Some drawings are a little larger, but this one is a smaller one. Were what I exhibited in my retrospective. The same period, some black and white. Once I got transferred and went to Lucknow, I made this kind of drawings actually. There only. But this work, these works were done in 2001. Then 2004, it got all stuck. 40 works got stuck. Then I came, returned back to the Chennai. I started restoring. It didn't happen. But only time of my retrospective, completely I put it in the water because it's all acrylic sheets, very thick, quite textured one, very highly textured. I restored it. It's all restored one. This is all 2001. 2001 and 2, the works are like this actually. This period also I made hundreds of drawings like this actually. Here you can see that the space, the window space, it's like a universal space actually. The window edges, it's colored because you are seeing, you are outsider to see the space. So this line may be millions of miles together, maybe miles or millions of miles together. I mean, the dimension you cannot determine. Dimension may vary. Also, all my, whatever it happens to my life, all the title is becoming the title to my work. See, this is also another one. This particular time, the World Trade Center, it is falling down. I was seeing it actually, and I was seeing that I was there in the medical leave. It was a very interesting story actually, but it is not an interesting story. It's happened. How I connected, I don't know, but it's connected actually, because I have to go and join in Lucknow, but I filed the case. I was there, but I got that information from my wife's friend saying that why don't you see that TV? But I don't have a CNN. So we have BBC. When I was seeing the World Trade Center is falling down, I myself along with Anupam Sood was very much there in the same building nearby. I take a lot of photographs, and before going to the Liberty Statue. So I was saying that whether it is a drama or not. Then after the few days, after the few hours, continuously they are same projection. It was there in the television. So I don't know whether it's a drama or not. Then it was a real. It was completely real. And the World Trade, it's leaders talk, everything, it is becoming title to my work actually, because I related to what it's happened to my life, because I don't want to go to Lucknow, because that I was adamant. I was adamant in the sense, mentally adamant, and although my situation is not permitting, my wife was very ill actually. But they want me to be there actually. Anyway, so in that situation, all those kind of things, I put it in that, unprecedented, all quick reaction, the moment, all the complete words are, it itself an art form. I mean, thousands of titles are there, all titles related to that actually. So why I'm telling that I connected the psychology is also part of it actually, part of the art actually. You cannot eliminate actually. This is in my collection, heart, head and heart actually. This period also went 6, 7 years actually. 2001, 2 to 2007, 8. 8, 9, up to 9. Then slightly changed. Then I came here. This particular period of works, most of my works are full imperial size. I started celebrating that space with the golden color kind of things. I mean, previous works were very dark, blackish color. Then this particular series of 2009, there was a big what you call it as a in Copenhagen. There was a treaty. It is happening for that global warming. Actually, India is doesn't want to sign the papers a bit because they made a draft, lot of draft. I mean, and because that Western world, they were telling we should not do experiments with the further atomic research and other things. We are adamant. We said no, nothing doing it. I mean, and later Brazil also joined with us. Then China also joined with us. Then it didn't happen. That treaty was it's a failure, and later it was happening in the other place in Europe. So to to that the celebrating. See, I'm not against the global warming. To celebrate that it's happened because India stands. That's the first time India stands. Even that say something to the Russia also. I mean, Russia was also how these people are against. They don't want to sign that all this paper. Uh, that they made a 2, 3 times the draft changing actually for us. I mean. We are not, finally we are not signed actually. So this drawing, it is me representing India, also me. It's like a sculpture, and people to express the it's a talk is failure. People cannot go this way or that way. This is a drawing, the architectural drawing made by the Michelangelo, because I was so fascinated with Michelangelo when I was there in the college. I collected this drawing many years before that printed sheet. I used it for this purpose again because this happened. It was there in Europe, so I wanted to put it as a marking. From this period, I kept it. I wanted to do like a sculpture like this. I didn't do it in 2009. I made it in 2018 after the 10 years. See, that is what you put something in your mind, it happens. I mean, but it takes time. I made that all these things are newspaper messages only. So I gave a credit to the Times of India, Hindu, these kind of things. All these draft materials on that one. Okay. Then this particular series of work, I made this kind of drawing more than 45,000 drawings. This I don't have anything in the I do draw completely night time completely. I don't have because my wife passed away in 2011. I don't have anything. Only the drawings and painting. Drawing and painting, or I do go to the Lalit Kala. Lalit Kala is everybody knows it. I mean, it's a different kind of organization. Exhaustive. So only thing, the drawing. So I do draw. I mean, whatever it comes. I mean, sometimes I do draw and paint also. Here, see, if I wanted to talk everything, it's a different, because this is why I did after my wife's passed away. So that line passed, outside. It goes outside. It has its extension, but you cannot see it actually. So the life is a kind of, I wanted to express the life is extension. I will show you some of the things that may be here. I don't know, I put it or not. This particular period, I made many works. See that lines goes out of the form, out of the life. That movement, your own movement. It's all watercolor. See here. This is what I brought it, lucky. This one, I don't know who will, but it's very personal. But even though I brought it here. See, these 3 lines are there in the, like burial box. I mean, uh, one is my wife's passed away. The next one is me, and third one is my my daughter. She is having life. I mean, full life with a full energy. I already have a cool. It's okay. Life is colors also symbolically I wanted to represent. I made it actually. I made it in 2012 when I was having my exhibition. I mean, this one. I boldly 2011 she passed away. See how I connected. It is all nothing in psychology, your emotion, everything will connect it in a different way. It goes inside the work. I mean, it is just not a line. This is that my collection. I mean, no. Then I made of some photography exhibition with a smaller one. Then later I printed a large one. This one I exhibited in my retrospective in a smaller format only because that space is very small. So I printed in a smaller format. This particular area, whoever is visiting this, the moving museum, moving image, the museum of moving, the center for moving images, you just see it. It's a very beautiful structure, architectural structure. It's all this combination of east or west, that you cannot express the things with the, only the texture. The textures be, reflects, but inside core is a different. This is, it's a Hong Kong or where is East, South Korea. This must be South Korea. Here I started putting that line little broader like a band because I wanted to see inside. I mean, the light, I wanted to, previously I see the light outside. So that line or the floating lines, I mean, all floating lines, the light comes from the outside. But here, the light is inside the line, I mean. So I started seeing, I want to see that my own, but, and also within the confined space. The space is becoming fixed actually, So end to end actually. And the light is becoming the part of it. Now you can see the light inside the line. That is why I started. This was in 2018-19. All these 4-5 works it comes, This all these some residential work in South Korea. This all residential work only. I was there. I made a 10 work there. I mean, these all my recent works. 2024. Slowly this one. A lot of textures, but I was not. I would. Yeah. Yeah. It's all 2024-23, but some sculptures are there. I don't know. Is there? Maybe it will come. It is not in order. Sorry, I put it wrongly. Friend and fourth it goes. This work is here. This work also I developed in 2018. I made a lot of drawings. Still, it is there in the notebook. I have not executed anything in a larger level. I made many drawings like this actually with the sketch notebooks, with a graph book. I mean, based on 2018, I made it. This one is a print silk screen. You can see the whole movement. Only one movement it occupies the entire space actually. I mean, it is like to express the life is, you are fulfilling your life. You are not leaving any space out actually. Whatever that allotted to you, you are fulfilling. I mean, to express that things. I mean, it is not like what do you call the yeah. It's not like a maze. Maze it's a different. Some areas you can go and some areas it will be blocked. But looks like, but it is not maze. It's all that the parallel reality, parallel narration. It's all kind of, it's like a two things are talking each other, two movements. I think it's repeating. Go first. It's repeating or it's repeating? Yeah, it was a 2019. I made some sculptures. Now also I'm making it. It's not completed. Some of these sculptures, but a similar kind. Now I'm making it with a very complicated structures. It's a free lines. Here, these prints are here actually. This is a very latest work. This I put it now. The Berlin effect, 2000. I mean, why that line? No, the line is becoming important. To Berlin, I will put it actually. Then the effect of 2000. The 2000. See how this work came. Existing now because Sadananda Menon, who is a good writer, and who came here came to see my work for writing. And he is following it, but when he was seeing my old drawings of this period, 2000, and he likes it, I mean, he said, but once you enlarge it, and this is a very beautiful, no, thousands of drawings are there, that enlargement itself, it's okay. So then I thought of, okay, it's a good idea. We can, for a retrospective, I thought of enlarging those drawings, all sketch notebook drawings. So all of a sudden, 2 days, 3 days, when I was seeing my own sketch notebook, I started talking to that in a very different way. It comes to me, my mind I started, imagining so many other things also. So in that only it came, then I started using a graph sheet. I don't want to use it. Anybody can use it. If I'm giving to anybody, they can print it up. They can enlarge photography and enlarge it and they can print it. It will be very beautiful. I don't want to make it beautiful. What it says to me is very, very important. Then I started doing it. I mean, see, Palaniappan before that exhibition retrospective and after retrospective it's different because because I started seeing AI. This is a part of the world of AI. Now, this particular time I'm talking about maybe 2024 or 2025 onwards. So everybody's knowingly or unknowingly, everybody contributed to the AI. And we are part of it. I mean, robo is not separated. We are robo. It's all that thought came to my mind actually. We are all contributed. Knowingly or unknowingly, we are contributing also. When you are started contributing, you have to take it something. We are part of it. I mean, we are in the language of that, not language. We are part of that life, I mean, robo life. So how the robo life, then little bit of knowledge in the computer, I thought of thinking about it. How this morphing and replacement of one portion, how it is working, it's all X and Y axis. X and Y axis only is moving. So it's all I'm talking about the movement. How the movement should be pronounced, can be pronounced as a morphing or maybe like movement like a X and Y axis. So I thought, by seeing it in the graph, I put it in the graph, then I started all these prints, all this edition, completely, edition and print total. Everything handmade after the basic. For me, what is very important is color bands of here and there. That is what this situation now is the end of my. See, everything it has its evolution. That evolution has to be pronounced in your work. Whatever it is actually, should not be repeated again. I didn't today. I didn't talk about much about my philosophy in aspect of secondary. It goes in another way. That is why I started as to the reality of what it is. Yeah.
Hello everyone. Palani sir, first of all, because I have been seeing your work and we have been talking to each other about your work and many other things. I was seeing you, and I was just connecting with your work. Your lines are not flat lines on the flat plane. They are not flat lines. As you already said, first you were looking towards outside. I mean, you're traveling outside. Then you are coming inside. And then you have metaphorically, you have connected it and you have explained how it has become thick. They are the lines in the quanta. Quanta are traveling into the quantum, and they are, they are traveling into the multiple dimensions. They are not line on the flat space. They are traveling into the multiple dimension. Even when you speak like an abstraction, because we have to connect what you said. And I'm not going by your linear connectivity of the words, because nobody can understand. You are speaking in a different language, actually. I am seeing you, I am listening to you, like I connect you with the experiment done by Kumar Gandharva. He used to also like that. He used to leave one one swara there, and then he used to pick up somewhere else, and that was all connected. So it was just an expression. I have no questions, actually. Thank you. Please throw light on that. Thank you.
See, what happened is that when I was showing it, because it is my different kind of experience when I was processing it, I cannot express everything together. Also, I wanted to share it because now I don't want to. There is no meaning for keeping it inside. I wanted to. But I didn't get it. Yeah. See, the high minimalistic abstraction, finally I found Rothko is one of the very topmost, because more than him, he connected the space, he connected the inside, he connected his personal experience, everything, after that, nothing actually. There is only one thing, there is no line. Here the line is there at least. There is no line actually. There's only space actually. That means silent, full silent actually. Huh? Maya. I don't know. It's all. I don't know. Huh? Not the flat actually. For me, line is not the line, it is a life. That is what I'm telling you. Life has a texture and it has a pass through. It's not like a traveling between Chennai and Madras actually. It carries so many dimensions. It carries it's a different reality actually. That is what line, mathematically when you are saying it is a line actually. When you are out of the mathematics, when you are coming, it is a life is a different, because I am connected with the earlier days, connected with the line as with the mathematics and the physicality of it. And now, it is a very different. The psychology is part of it actually. I cannot go beyond it.
So I have a question as well. Yeah. So thank you very much for your talk, sir. It was very enlightening, and it was so good to see you walk through decades of your own work. I particularly like your work called New Berlin. I find it very, very evocative.
Yeah.
And I've been trying to search for all of them for more than a couple of months. Can you talk a little bit more about that? You said that I think it's an edition of 40. And you said that, each of them, you worked on individually. If you can just walk us through a little bit more about that particular work again. And you say that it depicts the movement that you felt when you were there. If you can just shed a little bit more light on whether each time you do it, do you think of it differently, or do you feel that there is a pattern there already? Please.
I explain it how it happened actually.
Sir.
I told about the Max Muller one, the German council. Why they said it, because they saw my work and many interviews and all regarding what I talk about, that German war. I mean, it is not a German war; it is a world war. World war. I mean, I was talking about two contexts. One is the human suffering. Another one is I was talking about the physical movement of the flight, and I do connect with the psychological movement of the anything. I do connect. That was there in the newspapers at all, because because of that they called me. They said, Palaniappan, we wanted to send you to Berlin. We wanted to send it to you, Germany. As now you experience it actually. That's a well planned museum trips actually. Museums and appointment. Very good. I mean top range number one people. I mean But I was not I'm not happy with that. Because my thing was very different actually. I wanted to experience the space actually. So it happened to be they put me in they put me with very different appointments. So every museum directors, whoever I met them, they saw my work, because I made a brochure also. I sent it to them. Everybody wants to have my exhibition, including Springle Museum people. They wanted to have my retrospective show there actually. And also they gave a paper in writing. You write to European Space Center, and we will support you letter, we will give it. We will have your exhibition, where they have that Springle Museum, they have more than 14,000 drawings and prints of supermatism works of Dada drawings and prints actually. So why I'm telling, they are interested in, I am interested in different actually. I'm not interested in having my exhibition or something there. I went there to see that exhibition, see the place physically. Where the war was there. I wanted to see that, the human the war was there. Any filmmaker, makes the suffering very closely. It was registered in my mind. And flight movement. The two things, always a conflict between these, one and another. I mean, one is a movement, just flight movement. And the bombing. And that see, here also, I wanted to tell you, when the pilot is commanded by to bomb it there, he will not bomb it, he will return back, because he wanted to escape from the enemy flight. So there is a memory in his mind actually. That mind, the third, the fourth, fifth dimension of that also, I wanted to put it in my print or drawings. That is why, I put it the color bands, little color bands on that. Everywhere you can find out little color band or smaller bands, moving bands on there. That is always there in the mind actually of any human. Many things, not a pilot or anything. You also having it. I mean, you must be having something in your mind when you are entering, and simultaneously it is also running in your mind. Actually, you are also hearing this psychological impact. Also, it is there. Physically, you are there, and physically, if I am seeing you with this movement, what is happening inside? No, that means I am seeing the fifth dimension or sixth dimension of a person. Actually, I wanted to bring that movement inside in my work actually. That is why I wanted to break the rules of printing or anything. Everything I want to differentiate it actually, because of time and space is there, and psychology is also part of it. So every time when I am seeing it, how I respond to that, so that I do draw. That is what it is there actually. Edition. Why I am changing that edition? That edition I made it because that when you are walking in a floor space, you are creating a drawing on a floor space. When a flight moves, it's create a three-dimensional drawing. That is why all it came. So this I printed here that drawing. It is hundreds of people walking. When they are taking photographs, they are moving here and there. They are making a drawing on a floor space. Among them, I am also one. Among them, I am taking a photograph. My mark is a little red mark. This time. Next time, the next place, like that actually. I also want to give a credit, so that I printed everything, who made that sky, who made that building, first building, and all those kind of things. I gave credit to those people actually. And art, for me, art cannot be defined within that one scope, only one scope actually. It has a different dimension actually, different perspective. I mean, it is not yours actually, ultimately. Because what I'm telling now, what I'm telling now, it is I'm talking about a German war. German war is also a part of how thousands, millions of people died actually. They are also part of my work. I've been part of me, my experience actually. That experience, the German war is not happening. This print will not be there. This drawing will not be there. That means that elements is also, it is part of it. I mean, so you are not alone. Your work is not. No, it's everything experience. Put it together.
Good evening. My name is Vandana Kothari. I just loved your work when I came on the opening day and just superbly amazed by the presentation. So I have so many things in my mind, but a little observation, like throughout your presentation, you have shown the conceptual engagements of your work and your life, other things. And you were constantly talking about that. And suddenly, like when these works came up on the slides, you were totally silent. So my observation is like, you have been a formalist as well, alongside being a conceptually engaged artist. So is it that color is purely emotion? Even if like we try to deny that part, like earlier works all are like monochromatic or brown and those kind of shades, but like the passing of your wife.
Yeah, your question is correct actually. Your observation also. See, present days, for me, what happened, these works were not one day work.
Yes.
I started 2 years, 2.5 years. This work, there was work. I mean, 3 years before I started. I didn't know, in between, I stopped it actually. I started another work. I mean, it was because, some drawing, I don't like it. I mean, I left it actually. Then textures, the textures is a part of the life, I mean, any textures. It is not just a movement. See, the texture is a life. It has a life actually. It's like a vibration. I mean, it is not a movement. It is like a life carrying that, the life energy inside. I mean, so the color is also like that actually. That's what way I understood that. I bring the texture is a overall texture. Everywhere the texture is that line is also having texture. Background also is having texture. That all these textures it represent the life energy. I mean,
Yes,
vibration.
my observation is like, are these paintings more personal, autobiographical? Because you have a conceptual self.
Yeah.
And
But
you have
now,
a very personal
now
self.
that autobiographical things are not very less actually. Very less. Present days. Previously it was there actually. My transfer time and emotionally what I reflected in my work. I mean, all those kind of things. Time.
Or
It was
maybe
there.
I might use
Autobiographical.
the word more
Now,
intimate.
silently, I want to see inside actually. Yeah. Inside. What I am. I mean, that is what it is happening. And 2 years, how come one emotion can be retained actually? See, for a I was thinking about one of the art critic has wrote Joseph James has written about it actually. Palaniappan's work is at the beginning work. It's related to the somewhat Mondrian work. Such a great artist, Mondrian's work. I mean, because Mondrian said emotion has to be expressed immediately. Second, if I'm slapping you, immediately you have to cry. So that expression is perfect actually. How come I'm keeping this 2 years in emotion? I can retain it actually. It's not possible. So that means, I am ready to, take it, what do you call it, a silent kind of, I'm entering into that kind of portion. I mean, I'm not very vigorous or anything, Certain things, I want to, really I'm telling you, but I told in 1982 also, it came in the newspapers and it came in the books and all. I printed it, even many books it carries. 1982, I told only, this is a good interest. See, sometime I do talk. Violently I do talk. I mean, see the two areas I was talking. I wanted to tell about you. I mean, tell about myself. I mean, one of the area the Russian diplomats came to when I was there in the Lalit Kala second year of my Lalit Kala in 1982. 82. They came to us. They asked us to make a painting exhibition. Because I was the only guy who was working, all other people are working, as a paid artist. They came and paid the fees and they do work. I mean, there is no other department, only the graphic department was there. So that time, I was in charge. That time, they asked us to make a painting exhibition for peace to celebrating Gandhi Jayanti, October. So they all, every friends are agreed. All my friends, okay, we will do it. This and that. Palaniappan is a person there. I mean, sitting, and he will collect it and put it to the Russian center. They're all talking. I was watching, I was silently watching. Then, I said, they came to me. Palaniappan, you are ready? That man, very Belgian man, that diplomats, two diplomats. They said, sir, you can send it, sir. I said, I will not do it, actually. See, that time I was young also, so young. I said, no, I will not do it. I said, no. Our country is preaches about that, peace very much. No. Why they wanted to celebrate? I'm not against any country or anything. I'm talking about the politics. See, artist should be a politician and also should be strong enough to say something. See, they both the countries, America and Russia, they signed the paper treaty. They said that dismantling of all these these thing atomic energies. That for that to celebrating peace in our land. Then I told it I will not do it. You remove the knowledge of making bomb from your mind. We will do it actually. I said that the exhibition was not happen. The same thing, then the American Center has sent me to the, after the war, we were supporting Libya, so that America has totally detached our relationship. But through my program, it was started in 2000. 1986. 1986 and 1990. They sent me to the Tamarind Institute. I went there. When the two things were there, one is the Albuquerque television people. They asked me when I was rolling, they color, how poor Indian you are adapting this technology at your place. I'm still remembering, poor Indian. I said, I stopped the roller. I showed it. I told them. Still I'm remembering. What you said, what you said? We have a knowledge of making print for more than 2,000 years actually, from Mohenjo-daro period onwards. See, what I'm telling you, immediately you have to express that, it is not like country to country or person to person, that, what we have to express it in a way where it should be a bit. That is a part of it actually. That's the same thing. Many things it is happening. Even in Oxford, when I was giving a loose talk like this, so many loose talk I do talk when I was doing. Not one. That time also one of the, when my slide lectures were happening, I was talking about, Indians are good. I'm not a patriotic, by saying all these kind of things. I'm saying, West Coast of America, you just see it, a lot of Indians are working for the, the technology, all this for development, they helped a lot. Then they asked me, why you came here? You came here to learn, learn the computer. I went to learn computer graphics only. Then immediately I told, no, when you people came down, you brought our book also. Because I saw the book in the British Museum, one of the Tamil book. And the man who collected my work in the British Museum, he gave lunch to me. That time when I was passing through, that was a book exhibition was happening. It's going to happen, they're displaying. That time I saw. So whatever, it has to be connected. Everything has to be connected, you have to talk. Not talk, but it has to expressed in a way it should be, I connected immediately. But now I'm not doing it. I'm becoming very silent. I'm recollecting. Even I don't know. I started recollecting. I'm telling you, But art should be expressed, in a way it should be. Art. Now, for me, it's a silent way of approach. Yeah, please.
Your various catalysts for the painting. But one aspect I have not heard from you, which I admire a lot here. I came here only for that. And that's the formality of painting. I find that your compositions, your painting, it's a very painterly painting, And I have not heard you talk about that at all. After all, an artist is also a formal presenter of ideas. Ideas important. You talked about your ideas, you talked about all that you talked about, but you not talked about your work as an artist, because when I look at your paintings, I come here only for that really. You could have a story, I could have a story, hundreds of people could have a story.
Yeah.
We'd be going nowhere. But what remains is your painterliness.
Sir.
And this will remain your ideas will be forgotten, your intention will be forgotten.
I have to talk about only one thing about my sincerity in that case, actually. But what I'm telling when I was there in the college period, I came to Chennai for study architecture. Once I entered, I started, syllabus may be a different, syllabus may be a little actually, but I put my full effort, learn the painter like Rembrandt. Painter like Rembrandt means not copying the Rembrandt. Model will be there painting like a Rembrandt, and many different, many different kind of style of work. I learned as a practice, I practiced, and it's gone inside. For me now, you cannot differentiate me and my painting, my process. It is a process. It is happening on its own way. My experience, it's happening. I'm not giving any special attention to the making texture or line or formation of the painting. I don't know, sir. I don't know. I mean, I really found only one thing. I have not calculatively any worked actually. Yeah, everybody was saying, because some calculation is there, because I don't know. I mean, but only one thing in between, when I was reading lot about the golden proportionate of the things, I thought of why not using it. So I brought that golden proportionate in some of the painting actually. For example, this two painting here, I brought that proportionate of outside is the golden geometry. But little earlier, inside the work, some area I used to play. That is, once I started understanding to experimentally to know how to work, how it is working actually. I don't know, but maybe your observation maybe.
I can only give you an example. If you talk to an architect about a building, he'll tell you a huge story about how he designed that building. At the end of the day, the building is how you use it, how it functions, how you experience it, etc. The building is a physical form, and how you. So this, as I see this painting, is a physical element. It's a composition. It's got all kinds of formality about it. I don't deny your narrative at all. I think
Yeah.
I enjoyed listening to you. Very much for education about the painting, listening to you. I don't.
No, I understood.
I don't discount that at all. But I've not heard you talk about the amazing amount of it. I came here only for this, the formality. I see that and look at the painting that I really find that it's something that I want to hear from you, but I've not heard from you at all. That what is it? And you're a painter. You talk about Rembrandt, you talk about all those people, but there are many other historical precedents to this. I've not heard that. It is also a narrative you're developing. Maybe unconsciously, perhaps, but I see a certain.
Maybe that's what I'm telling you. I didn't give a much attention to that actually, because I need some kind of push to the painting. I need some push to the painting. Once it goes, it works on its own way. How it developed, I'm developing. I don't know. I mean, still I don't know. It get developed. I mean, 2 years. This first one line started, second line. Then how many colors are inside? You don't believe it. I almost that every background, every line painted several times, several changes. It is not one time. And sometimes even line I scraped some of the work. Nobody knows it. I mean, how it's happening, why it's happening also. And it is like a paint. Maybe it is not showing it actually. People are painting, painterly way of painting, just like that. It's also happening as that, but it is not happening the way it should be. I mean, I scraped some of the areas, I removed some of the lines, I painted hundreds of colors on top of it, one color to another color, another color. I mean, some of the people, the camp, but the Manish Pushkale, he was there for one camp. He witnessed it actually 3 months. One painting, how many times I changed, I mean, 200 paintings, 100 paintings he saw when I was doing it. Same drawings, I changed. And maybe that may be the formation of the work. No. No.
I think it might be more intuitive for you than you might have expected it to be. Like, there are things happening in the mind.
Don't understand me at all.
No. He was talking about the physical object, how the physical object, He was talking about the knowledge of physical object, how it was made actually. He was talking about the knowledge behind. That's what I am telling about. The knowledge came from the experience. I don't know how, I cannot define the portion of it. I mean, portion of that, composition, portion of the making of textures, portion of, how the composition. That only one thing I understood, that golden proportionate in between period. Maybe within this 49 years span of time, I made it to maybe, 20 years back, I understood, I started studying deeply that Indian mythology, how they brought it actually in that same kind of proportionate, and European, paintings, how it was. That's only one thing, I started learning. I learned the composition. I started, adapting. I tried to adapt actually.
Sir, actually, what here? Yeah, Purvi, I understood how you mediated, and you're not wrong. Actually, you're right. But let me tell you one thing: when the song has been sung by the singer, the singer is no more interested to say. In fact, he's so tired to say that I have sung this song this way. And then you have been constantly telling from the beginning that it's a process which I enjoy, and it's vibration actually. Vibration is not still actually, it's just palpitating. And I don't think how come you be interested in saying, explaining what layer you did first, and then what you obliterated, what you smeared, and what you again. So ultimately, definitely, you come to see the form, and he will be not interested. I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, please.
Loving your work since ages, love your form. But I have a very different question, one-line question and expect one-line answer.
Okay.
Have you ever thought of making a film?
Yes. 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 And I already put it to Ramani also. I wanted to learn really, the technology of a little bit, It is not composition or anything. Making it all right, actually. Making it all right, actually.